Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with yet another product pan update. This is my main product pan. This is my rolling product pan when working on 10 products at any point in time to try to finish. I only have finished goals in this project, no hit pan goals, no like user shows, nothing like that. So it's quite a fun one, both for me because I get to have some products out of my collection, but I'm assuming also for you guys to watch because I do have some more long haul products in here. At least that's what I enjoy watching. So I'm really excited to share with you the update for these 10 products today. I do have a couple of rollouts, which is always exciting. And yeah, I'm going to let you know kind of where I'm standing with them and whether I think I can finish these products within the next 2 months or not. So before I jump into the updates, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So we have a handful of products that has been in since the beginning of the year. So I'm going to start off with those. I always start with the product that has been in the longest and move down the list. So first up, we have an eyeshadow. We actually have 3 eyeshadows first, which have all been in since the beginning of the year. I believe those are the only products that are still in since the beginning of the year. But first up, we have this single shadow right here from Glam Shop in the shade Turbo Milka. And as you can see, I had pan on this one already at the beginning of the year. It is a beautiful, beautiful kind of iridescent shade that has like a blue to a pink kind of shift with maybe some purple in there. It's a super pretty shadow and I've really been enjoying this shadow throughout the year. I can use this one on my inner corner. I use it as a topper shade on my lid. I have used it on my nails. So it's quite a versatile shadow for me because I get to use it in lots of different ways. And that is kind of reflected in my progress too. There's definitely been like up and downs in the progress. Some months I used it like twice. There was 1 month I didn't use it at all. And then others I have been sitting around like 11, 12 uses, so quite high. So again, it's been very kind of depending on the month and how I've been feeling. However, I have really honed in on this one in the past month. And before I get into that, this is what the shadow looked like last month. So I had a really big pan on this one and I didn't have very much product left, as you can see. And I was working away on it. And in the last month, I have used the shadow a whopping 25 times. And this is where it is today. So as you can see, it is not quite done, but it's very close to being done. I was hoping to have it finished before this update, if I'm being honest, but I feel like 25 uses is still really good. So I mean, I definitely did what I could to try to finish it up, but this is definitely one that's going to be done in the next month for sure. And I'm happy with where this one is sitting now. Yes, so I'm going to be careful with it because there's not too much product left, but you can see there's a little bit of product there on the top. The bottom is cleared out. And I'm actually using this one on my nails today as a topper on top of like a burgundy shade. So that is 5 uses. I also have used it on top of like a pink on my nails as well. So that would be 10 uses. So 10 out of the 25 is on my nails. And the remaining 15 is on my eyes. So I have used this one basically every single time I haven't been doing my Big Fat Eyeshadow Project looks. I've been using it again as a topper shade. I mix it a lot with the shade Bronze from my Panda palette. And then I've used it as an inner corner highlight in other looks and stuff like that. So I have been getting a lot of use out of this one. And again, unfortunately, it's not quite done yet, but it will 100% be done by the next update. So that is where I'm sitting with this product. The second product in this project is, like I said, another eyeshadow, and that is my Super Shock shadow from Colourpop in Amaze. So this is one that I have also had in since the beginning of the year, like I mentioned, and I also, of course, want to finish this one. This had pan on it at the beginning of the year, and similar to the Glam Shop shadow, I have been using this one throughout the year to try to obviously use up. But I have been way more inconsistent with this shadow. There's been 2 months where I didn't use it at all, and there's been once where I used it once, and then otherwise I've been sitting, you know, either like 4 or 5 uses or like 10 to 11 uses. So, you know, definitely a bit more inconsistent. However, I have put in a lot of effort on it in the last maybe like 4 months or so, because I really wanted to get this one out before the end of the year. So it is a beautiful kind of like rose goldy type of shade. It's beautiful to use on the eyes, and that's how I've been using it a lot. I also have used this one on my nails a couple of times, but it's not been my favorite shade to use on my nails, even though I guess to give like this kind of champagne-y look on my nails. So it's definitely still like workable, but I have kind of liked using it on my eyes, especially in collaboration with my Panda palette, because again, the undertones really work with that palette. So this is what the eyeshadow looked like last month. Again, I had been using this one quite a bit. I had actually used it 20 times leading up to last update. And I'm happy to say that I have reached this one 20 additional times in this past month. And this is where it is today. So we do have an empty, guys. We do have an empty eyeshadow, which is so exciting. It has taken me a lot of work to get through this one. Of course, it was already kind of used at the beginning of the year. I used it quite a lot leading up to this year. But in this project, it took me 79 uses to finish completely. So yes, like I said, this one is now done. I'm so happy to see that it is completely empty. I was able to finish it up, and again, it took me 20 additional uses this past month to get it out. I have used it in the last month on my eyes, but also on my nails quite a few times. I believe I even used it on my nails like 3 times in the past month, just because I knew that I wanted to get this one out, which would have been like 15 uses out of the 20, if I remember correctly. So yeah, obviously very excited to have this one out, both because I do have a rollout in this project, but more excitedly, I have an eyeshadow out of my collection, because eyeshadows are something that takes quite a long time to finish, as you can see, because this one has been in since the beginning of the year and it's just now finished. So yeah, super happy about that. We do have a rollout, and I will be replacing this one at the end of the video. And then the third and final product that has been in since the beginning of the year, like I said, is another eyeshadow, and that is my Burberry eyeshadow in Rosewood, which looks like this. It is a beautiful kind of taupey satiny shade. So even though this is a satin shade, I actually use this one in my eyebrows, and it works perfectly for that. That is what I do every single day. It's just like the perfect type of shade for my eyebrows, because it is like a taupey shade, but it has like a slight bit of like warmth to it, so it's not fully flat, which matches my hair very nicely. Again, since it is a bit satiny, it's more like on the matte satiny side than more of the shimmery satiny side, so I feel like it just gives dimension to my eyebrows, if anything. And as you can see, because I use it in my eyebrows, I've had really consistent progress on this product throughout the year. I use this one basically every time I do my makeup, and there's been a handful of times where I maybe didn't, but most of the time when I do my makeup, I have used this eyeshadow. So I've been sitting, around the 30 uses every single month with this product, which is obviously very exciting, because it means that the product moves quite a lot. This has a lot of product in it. It has 2.5 grams, which is a massive eyeshadow. It's so huge. It's one of the biggest eyeshadows that I think I've ever tried to finish. So it's definitely taking a lot of work. So I'm happy that I'm able to use this one so regularly. This is what the eyeshadow looked like last month. So you can see that I already had a massive pan on it. And in the past month, I have reached for this on 36 additional times. So again, a very high use. And this is where it is today. So I haven't looked back at the footage yet, but I'm hoping there is some decent pan expansion. I say that every single month, because since I use so little every single day, and I use it so consistently, I don't really notice the difference myself with the pan expansion. I think it's something that I only notice when I look back at the footage. But I'm really happy with where this one is standing, and I'm still hopeful to finish it this year, but I'm getting a little bit hesitant because we only have 2 more months left. So yeah, that is the shadow now. So you can see that the pan is really big, and I have been working on the sides to try to lower them down. Again, we are getting very close to finishing this one, but I'm not quite there yet. I am thinking of repressing this now because obviously I do use my eyebrow brush, so it's quite small. But I do think it's harder to reach for now because it is so close to the edges, especially in certain areas of this product. So I do think I might repress this one. I have a couple other things that I want to repress as well. So I might do that all in a session together. And this one might go in there too. So I think I might film that this afternoon actually. Because even though I don't necessarily need to repress this one quite yet, it's something that I don't always love, is to repress something before you need to, because I do think having the pan expansion is more satisfying than like repressing it. But since I'm doing one anyway, I think I might do it. And also like the pan in here is obviously very like large. And if I was using anything but my eyebrow brush, I probably would repress it anyways. So that is where I'm sitting with this one. And I think, again, I'm going to repress this one and see how far I can get with it in the next month. Okay, so we're moving on to products that have been in here way less than the full year. And the first product we're going to talk about is housed in this product right here, which is my old Stila Convertible Color Compact, but the product is actually my Pat McGrath Under Eye Setting Powder in medium. So this one looked like this at the beginning of the year. So you can see that it was freshly repressed, and there was actually, I think, maybe a tiny bit of pan showing, but that's just how I repressed it. And I have been using this one mainly as a touch-up powder, so I don't reach for it every single day. I keep this one in my handbag, and I reach for it if I'm out or at work or stuff like that. So again, I don't use it too regularly, but I still get a decent amount of use out of each month. So my highest month was the third month it was in the project. I reached for it 10 times. Otherwise, I've been between like 6 and 9 uses. So I guess like between the 6 and 10 mark still. However, in the past month, I had my lowest use yet. But before going into that, this is what it looked like last month. So I do have some decent pan on here, and you know, it's still something that's really easy to use. I use kind of savoring it too, because again, I do love it as a touch-up powder. But this is what it looks like today. So I don't know how much the pan is suspended, and again, I haven't checked the footage, but I can definitely see that there is very little product left in here. It's very thin around, and I have almost cleared out this pan in like the bottom corner, I would say. And I don't know if I said already, but I actually only reached for this one 3 times in the past month, so again, not too much. I just haven't been bringing this one with me, or I haven't remembered to touch up. But it is a really beautiful product, and I am sure that I will finish this one before the end of the year. I have mentioned that before, that if I don't, like if I'm not close to finishing in it, just using it as a touch-up powder, I will use this one as my like everyday setting powder, and get it out that way. So I know for a fact this one is going to be done before the end of the year, and I'm really hoping to step up my usage on this one in the next month to try to get some good progress, and at least finish up what is like half of what is left in here, so that I can get it out relatively soon. The next product is one that I'm going to brace over, because it's actually one that I haven't used in the past month, and that is my The Impossible Glow Highlighting Drops. This one has been in for 4 months now, and it's been a really beautiful kind of highlighting product to use, but I mainly used it in summer when I had more like skin showing. I loved using this one on my collarbones and my shoulders, stuff like that. Since the beginning of the project, I have reached for this one 8 times, but again, in the past month, I have not reached for it, so the progress lines there on the side are still the same, and I think, unfortunately, this one is going to probably stay the same in the next coming months. I do have like a Christmas party, of course, coming up and things like that, so maybe I'll reach for it for that. But that is not until December, so I don't know about November. I do have my birthday, so maybe I'll show something then and I can use this one. So we'll see. If I ever have like my shoulders out or my collarbones, anything like that, I'll try to remember to use this one to at least get a couple more uses on it before the end of the year. The last eyeshadow that I have in the product at the moment comes from this palette right here, which was my Pan palette for the second half of last year. And I'm currently trying to pan the 6th shade in the palette, which is one of the only 2 shadows that I now have remaining in this palette. And this one looked like this when I first started working on it, which was now 3 months ago. I've honestly been really slow with this product. I didn't use it at all in the first month, and I think it's because I've been focusing so much on my Pan palette. And then leading up to last month, I reached for it twice. So again, quite a low use, but 2 uses at least, and this is what it looked like at that point. Since then, I have unfortunately only reached for this one 1 time, so not much at all, and this is what it looks like today. I don't know if you're going to see any difference. 3 uses since I rolled this one in 3 months ago is really not very good, but I've just been going for much warmer toned looks, which is why this mauve toned shadow hasn't been used. But I'm foreseeing that to change very soon, so I'm hoping that I'm going to get more use out of this shadow moving forward. I know I said that last month too, but I'm very close to finishing a couple shades in my Pan palette, which you might have seen if you saw my update go up 2 days ago. And once that's done, I'm going to move on to these more kind of mauve toned looks and hopefully get some decent use out of this shadow. So we'll see with this one. Again, I do have some decent amount of product left, but yeah, it's staying in the product for now. I'm definitely hoping to get more use on it than like 1 or 2 in the next month. So we have a couple of products left. The next 2 has been enrolled in for 2 months now, and then the last 2 has been in only for 1 month. But first up, we have my Sleek Solstice palette. This was one that I've been working on all year, but this specific shade that I'm currently working on was rolled in 2 months ago, and that is the 2nd shade in the palette. And as you can see, I actually frankened that shadow also 2 months ago, just to make it easy to use, because it's quite a stark lavender type of shade that is very like bright and light, and also have that purpley undertone. And I frankened it with the shade Glistening from my Pan palette. And in the first month, I reached for that one like the franken 10 times, and this is what it looked like at the last update. I had it pan on it after 8 uses, and so I had a little bit of a pan showing, but I still had quite a lot of product left in there. And in the past month, I have reached for this one 33 times, and this is what it looks like today. So as you can see, I have managed to finish up that franken, which I'm very happy with. It took me 43 uses in total to finish that franken up. So that means that I have finished up part of that original highlighter. And with that original highlighter, by the way, I have not used at all. So I'm very excited to have that franken done. As you can see, it is completely empty. It was in this pan right there. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to go ahead and do another franken with this highlighter together with my Pan palette again. I'm going to use the shade Fairy this time and make another concoction to try to get some use out of this one, because Again, I don't really like that shadow on its own or that highlighter on its own, but it does really work very well with franking into like a warm toned eyeshadow. So that's what I'm going to do, and that is also the main reason why I want to do that like repressing video, because I'm going to go ahead and franken that one in that video, and again I'm going to try to do that after filming this video. So probably I'm going to film that tonight, but it's not going to go up until later in November. I'm going to pre-film it, post it, I think, if I remember my schedule, I think I'm going to post it on the 18th of November. So yeah, quite a lot in the future, but yeah, for now, this one I'm very, very happy with, and it means that I'm closer to finishing that highlighter and this whole palette. And then that second product that has been in for 2 months now is this blush from Max Factor, and this is the Shelly Gorgeous Berry, which is one of their cream puff blushes. So you're seeing now what it looked like 2 months ago, and in the first month I reached for this one 5 times. It's a beautiful plum blush, but I have to be quite gentle with it because it's very, very pigmented. And this is what it looked like at the last update. Since then, I have used it slightly more than the first month. I've reached for this one 8 times, and this is what it looks like today. I honestly don't know if you're going to see any difference. I'm seeing that the sides are definitely wearing down, but I still have a decent amount of product left in here. So I was hoping to, of course, finish this one in the span of the year, but I'm now getting a bit unsure if I'm actually going to get through it. But I'm still hopeful I can get some really good use on it before the end of the year, and if not finish it, at least have a lot of it done. So yes, this is the blush right there. Again, it is very flat now. Like, I mean, it's been flat for a while now, but looking at it in the pan, hopefully you can see that it's quite flat. I definitely used more on the top than the bottom, but I have gotten a lot of use out of this one, and I feel like I'm getting close to pan on the very top right there. So I'm happy to see that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish this one completely before the end of the year or not. We do still have 2 months left of the year, but I also have the blush in my Panda face palette. However, I'm trying to completely finish that up this month, and then this will be my main focus. I do think I might pull in some other blushes just to play with, because again, this is very like pigmented and very plum, which means that it doesn't go with every single look, but I'm trying to use it as often as I can. So again, 8 uses in the past month, and I have reached for this one 13 times in total since I rolled it in. Okay, so the last 2 products are both rolled in last month, and the first one out of those is this one right here, which is my Chanel face powder. This is the natural finish pressed powder. It's the shade 40 Door or Translucent 3. This is what this one looked like when I first rolled it in, which was again last month. I had used this one a little bit here and there, but not too much. It is a product that I ideally wanted to finish this year, but I don't think I'm going to do that because this one has a lot of product in it. It has 15 grams of product, which is actually insane. And I have reached for this one quite a lot in the past month. I reached for it 32 times. And this is what it looks like today. So you're going to see that there is a hard pan around the sides. I'm probably going to try to get rid of that after this update, but I didn't want to touch it before filming the update. But also in the middle, there is a like decent dip. I'm not sure if you're going to see that in the footage, but I can definitely see it in person. So yeah, I'm really happy that I have reached for this one 32 times in the past month. I reach for this one basically every time I do my makeup. And again, I don't know if you can see, but there is definitely a dip there in the center. I'm hoping you can pick it up on camera. I think there you can definitely see that there is a dip. But since there is 15 grams in here, I don't know how deep this one is. I'm assuming it's very, very deep because there's so much product in there, like weight-wise. So we'll see if I can able to hit pan on it before the end of the year. That would be my goal, is to definitely hit pan on it. But again, we'll see if that happens. If I keep using it as much as I have, I think it might be possible. But again, it obviously depends on how deep the product is. Yeah, 32 uses in the past month. This one is one that I use to kind of set my face. So I use like a translucent setting powder underneath my eyes. And then this is the one that I set like kind of my perimeter on my face before I put on bronzer and blush and things like that. So it works really well for that. Someone asked me if I had any tips on using a powder that is slightly too deep for me, because that is what this one is. Kind of like similar to a light bronzer or like a first bronzer step. Or you can even use it to blend out your bronzer or to like you buff kind of certain areas of your face. Also, if I apply like my blush too heavy, I can use this one to tone it down. So that's kind of how I've been using it. So it is still a very, very versatile product, even though I can't use it all over my face. And I'm really happy that it actually rolled this one into this project so I could get some use on it before the end of the year. And then the final product that I have is one, again, that I rolled in last month, and that is actually a concealer. This wasn't one that I was planning to roll in this year just because I don't know, it wasn't on my list. It wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to completely get through, even though I have been using it quite a lot on my own anyway. However, the applicator broke on this one, and the concealer I'm talking about is the Stay Naked Concealer from Urban Decay, and this one is in the shade 20NN. So I'm going to show you the application first, so you can see that the doe foot actually completely fell off, which is why I wanted to get through it. And I'm happy to say that I have actually been able to finish this product up. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see all the scrape marks and stuff like that. And what I've been doing with this one is I actually use a different empty concealer kind of doe foot applicator to get in here and to scrape out all of the lost product. So I use this one quite a bit in the past month. I have a lot of uses on it. I managed to reach for it 27 times before I finished it up completely. And I did use it underneath my eyes, but like a couple times as well, I use this one as like a foundation almost. I mix it with a deeper kind of concealer or one of my foundations to use as a foundation, which obviously means that I used a little bit more product. And I think that's another reason why I managed to get through this one. I did really like this concealer. It was a lot of like coverage, but it wasn't like too heavy underneath my eyes. So I did really like it, but I'm also happy to have it out and have another concealer out of my collection. So since I finished up 2 products, the Amaze eyeshadow and that concealer you spoke about, we need to roll in 2 more products. And since we are also very close to the end of the year, I was thinking a lot about what to roll in. And I decided to go with 2 products that I'm using basically daily anyway, just so I can track the progress and yeah, you see how often I use them, and also have kind of some easier products to work on before the end of the year, instead of kind of rolling in things that I know I only reach for like once or twice. So the first product that I'm going to roll in is this concealer right here. This is actually a white concealer. This one comes from Revolution and is the Conceal and Hydrate Concealer in the shade C1, which as you can see is just a white concealer. I do use this one every single day as my primer, so I use this one on my eyes as a primer. I don't like apply it fully. What I actually do is I use a brush and I actually only use what's on the rim right there, so I use a very, very little amount every single day. But I do use it as my primer. That is what I have underneath my eyes, like underneath my eyeshadow today. So I'm gonna roll this one in so I can track it. But again, I do foresee myself getting quite a lot of uses on it, because I do use it every single day, and I don't think I'll be able to finish it by any means, but I can get a head start of this one to try to finish next year instead. And then the second product that I'm rolling in is actually another concealing type of product, but neither of these I use as necessarily like a concealer fully. And that is this one right here, which is my Becca Under Eye Corrector and the shade Light to Medium. I have panned several of these in the past, and this is just like a beautiful kind of corrector product. So I do technically use this one as a concealer, like as my first step. But I have been kind of, I didn't use this one for the longest time. I was out of the habit to use it, but I've been trying to get back into the habit of using this one, which is one of the reasons why I want to roll it in. So that is going to be the second product I roll in. Again, I do think I can get some good use out of this one, which is the other reason why I want to focus on it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I do again want to roll these 2 products in because I do think that I can get some good progress on it, on them, even though I might not be able to finish them fully this year. But I think if I roll in something else as well, I wouldn't really be able to finish anything else in this project either. So there you guys, there we have it. Those are all of the products that I'm working on and what I'm rolling into this project. I definitely think I will have a couple empties, or at least one empty next month, and that is the Glam Shop Shadow. We will see with the rest. I will also do that Franken and repress video where I repress the Burberry eyeshadow and do another Franken for the highlighter. So stay tuned for that. I will again film that after this update, and I will obviously film some footage so you can see what the new Franken and the new repress looks before, like, so I can track it from basically when I first repressed them. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are. If you did like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.